crazy, keep your sanity.
Hey guys, and welcome to Drunk Gamers. I made a previous video that detailed some of the components of the game I've been designing, Twisted Metal Carnage. These are the vehicle sheets, so that you can see them up close, what they look like so far, along with the specific details of each vehicle. I will also include a photo, a picture of the vehicle sprites as I've designed them. These are all probably going to change in the course of the development of the game. I'm looking to hire a professional artist to do that for me. So, with that being said, here we go. This is a blank vehicle sheet, and the purpose of this is so that when the game is released or published, if it is, the buyer or whoever I make another copy of this game for will be able to make their own vehicle sheets by photocopying this one, or there'll be multiples of this sheet included with the game. And you can see my little mouse clicker here, so I can point out, they got the weight class, armor, speed, special, vehicle number, life token, circle, name, and HP, and that's designed so you can make up every aspect of the vehicle. The only thing being set in stone is the upgrade slots down here. Those are restricted to certain card types for the purposes of gameplay. So, vehicle number 1 is Deimos. He has 95 HP, he's a light car, a light and fast car with 8 armor. His special weapon is Berserk, as you can see. 0 damage, but when you use it, the damage from all your other weapons is doubled until the end of the next round. So that's an entire round of combat, or potentially 2 full turns of having your damage doubled. And that's not including a utility card called an Amplifier, which is another ×2. So if you had both of those, it would be 4 times damage for the duration of up to 2 turns possibly. So pretty cool. That's a 1-use special. Outlaw, average light car, light average speed card with 100 HP and 15 armor. His special attack is Time Lock, which is kind of inspired by Chassis Blue special from Vigilante 8. As you can see, it does 0 damage, but all opponents within 6 spaces of your token lose their next turn. So this is an ability that you want to drive into a group of opponents with and use it, and they'd always lose their next turn. So, super cool ability, super powerful. Again, it's a one-time use. This is Warthog, derived from the video game character Warthog from Twisted Metal. However, the vehicle design and all his stats and everything about him for this game are different. He is the same in name alone. His special weapon is Barrage. It does 15 damage, has 14 spaces of range, and an accuracy of 2. That being said, that means that you have to roll a 2 or lower on a 6-sided die in order to hit somebody with it, so it has a pretty bad accuracy. This weapon counts as having fired 3 shots per use, so that means for every shot you fire of this weapon, you get to roll 3 6-sided dice. If the target is hit, roll a 6-sided die. If they roll a 6, the target is ignited or set on fire, which is a status condition that you do not want. It does a base damage of 15, ignoring your armor, 20, ignoring your armor. And for every turn after that, you take 10 damage until you boost and get rid of it, turbo and get rid of it, or pick up a health pickup, which will restore your health and also get rid of the fire. And you can see down here it has a fast speed, fast written in yellow. That means that you can use all 3 shots of it, or 3 uses of it in one turn, for a total of 9 shots. If you locked on your target, which is you give up your movement to add a d4 worth of accuracy to your weapons for a turn, you could possibly boost the accuracy of this weapon, and it would be incredibly deadly. Yeah, super good weapon. Super cool car. Like I said before, I've got about 60 of these total. These are only going to show about like 40 or so. These are just the ones I've finalized. Okay, so I guess 50 would be a better estimate of how many total I have, actually. So Crimson Fury, again, similar to the character from the video games in name alone. His special weapon is Warp Drive. It does 0 damage, but you immediately move up to your maximum modified movement in any direction. In addition, roll a 6-sided die and move up to 6 additional spaces based on the result of this roll. So, he has an unmodified speed of fast. So he has a base movement of 10. Say for example, if you got an upgrade card that added movement, like 2 or more movement, you could potentially move 18 spaces using this special weapon, and that is a ton of movement. So super good special weapon yet again. Very cool, very cool. Next vehicle, Brick. This is a slow heavy car. He's actually kind of designed as a like a U-Haul type truck. His special weapon is Cargo. It does 30 damage, ignoring armor. It's stationary, and it sets the target on fire. Basically, what you do with this is he sets down a template, and it's called a brick template. It's 2 spaces long by 1 space wide, and it's basically like a cargo box, is what it is. And your allies, Brick and his allies, can use it as cover in addition to enemies. And when an opponent comes within 4 spaces of it, it detonates, dealing damage to 2 and igniting all opponents within a 4x4 area. And it has 2 uses, however it's a slow weapon. Super good weapon, especially in team battles. You can use it as cover, blocking your enemy's line of sight with it. They cannot destroy it, so that's pretty cool too, unless they get within 4 spaces of it and it detonates, of course. So next car. Just so you guys know, the -1 jump applies to trying to jump ramps and that sort of thing. Like say if you're trying to jump from one rooftop to another, you'd be at a -1 disadvantage with a heavyweight class. That's all the jump value means. So Jenkins, he is a limousine, and he's slow, heavy. His special weapon is Frugality. It does 20 damage, 12 spaces of range, accuracy of 3-. For each round that the special weapon card remains in play, the damage of this attack is increased by 20. So, this special weapon gets more powerful the longer that you do not use it, or switch it out for another weapon pickup card. Again, super cool, one use per round of combat though, so kind of sucks in that, but it gets more powerful each time, so there you go. White Knight is another vehicle of my design. His special weapon is Plasma Shield. He is a small vehicle, a small open-topped vehicle. Plasma Shield does 0 damage. You are immune to damage and effects of all attacks until the beginning of your next turn. In addition, if you are hit by an attack, roll a 6-sided die. If the result is a 6, the enemy that targeted you is treated as being hit instead of you. So basically, what this does is not only does it protect you from damage, but if for any reason you are hit by an attack, like say for example you are shot with a napalm hits you, you would roll a 6-sided die, and if the result is a 6, you would reflect that attack back at the person who did it. So another super. So Mimic is another vehicle I designed. This car is based loosely on the vehicle Mime from Twisted Metal's Small Brawl, who would copy other vehicle special attacks. His special is Copycat, damage 0. This weapon copies the special profile of the nearest vehicle. Resolve ties by rolling a 6-sided die. So what that means is that if you're in between 2 vehicles and they're equally close to you, you would roll a die to decide which one gets hit. And it says X uses because the uses of your special weapon are going to be determined by that vehicle's special weapon profile. So this special is like pretty much a 1 use, and it just copies whoever. Super cool also. Majesty is another vehicle that's going to be new to the Twisted Metal scene. Her special weapon is Blink, damage 0, swap places with an opponent of your choice anywhere on the board, and it has 2 uses, however it's slow, so that means 1 use per round. That can be a very advantageous special weapon depending on circumstance, especially in team battles. Bastardo is a bus, so he's slow and heavy. His special weapon is Possession, damage 0, range 4 spaces, accuracy 2. If the target is hit, place a ballistics token on the vehicle. You control that vehicle on its next turn. So this would be a special weapon that you would want to, like I mentioned before, use a lock-on for, because that could potentially add 4 to its accuracy, making it much more potent. And the ability to take control of your opponent's vehicle is just awesome. So again, another very strategic, awesome special ability. And some of these are pretty powerful, but I've done, I think, a pretty good job of balancing them out based on the playtesting that I've done so far with them. Okay, vehicle number 11, Warlock. He's like a small medium car. His special weapon is Attrition, damage 5, ignores armor, range 10 spaces, accuracy 3-. Roll a 6-sided die. This attack deals 10 damage per turn for a number of turns equal to the result, so that has a potential of being pretty devastating. So it hits for a base damage of 5 and then does 10 additional damage per turn. That's what that means. Again, 1 use per round though. This character was based off of the Warlock from World of Warcraft, which was my favorite character class. It's been years since I played that game, but I do remember that ability. So, yep. Next car, Twister. Another icon of the series. This character is similar in name alone. However, she is a race car, like the video game version. Her stats are all different, and her special weapon is based very closely off of the video game. Cyclone, damage 40 plus X. Place the Cyclone template above and centered on Twister. This is a large circular template. All enemies beneath the template are considered hit. Roll a directional die. Enemies are thrown 1 6-sided die worth of spaces in the directions indicated. So you would roll the die for each individual card hit, and then each one would be thrown in a random direction. This attack does 10 additional damage per vehicle caught in the Cyclone. That's like to represent the cars being bashed into each other, since they're basically essentially caught in a tornado. Super cool. Next, Mazel Tov. This car might seem kind of sacrilegious or racist a little bit. It's based off of the Jew class from South Park, Stick of Truth. And I never played as the Jew, but I do know that the more beat up they got, the stronger they got. That was kind of like their thing. And so the special weapon of Mazel Tov is Empowering Pain. Damage 25, that's its base damage. Travels in a straight line ahead. Range 8 spaces, accuracy -2, or 2-. If less than half of your maximum health remains, this attack gains +2 accuracy and +15 damage. If Mazel Tov is on fire, this attack ignites enemies. So basically, if you're kind of beat up, it does more damage and gets better accuracy, and if you were on fire, it gains the ability to light enemies on fire. So that's a pretty powerful ability also. Panel Van, special weapon Hostage Locker, damage 50, range 12, accuracy 2. If the target is hit, place a ballistics token on the vehicle. Until the end of the next round, attacks that would damage you are redirected to this target after applying your armor. So this would be an attack that you would want to use against a stronger vehicle or a vehicle with more armor, and then potentially have like your allies shoot at you, or have somehow, like if an opponent shoots at you, it would damage their buddy instead. And it does a heavy amount of damage to begin with too, initial damage, so that's also a pretty powerful attack. This is probably the one that's a little bit more overpowered, but it's still balanced with the other ones. It's just that some special weapons, all special weapons are not created equal, I guess is what I'm saying. This is probably my favorite vehicle, Yellow Jacket, based off Yellow Jacket from Twisted Metal. Special weapon Barbs, damage 20, ignores armor, range 6 spaces, accuracy 3-. While the special weapon card remains in play, opponents involved in a ram attack with Yellow Jacket receive 20 damage, stacking with normally allocated damage incurred by a ram. This weapon may be fired at any time, though when used, this attack is considered to have been fired in all directions. Separate rules to hit must be made for each vehicle in the line of fire. So that is definitely my favorite, is Yellow Jacket. Onyx, this is actually my profile name when playing like PS3 and Xbox One. And the vehicle token is based off of my personal car, which is a Mitsubishi Mirage. It's kind of a rare model of car. Special weapon Cheat, damage 0, take an additional turn. It's a one-use special, but that's a pretty powerful thing to have. Draco, another vehicle that I made, average weight class, or average speed, medium weight class. Special weapon is Dragon Breath, damage 0. Use the Cone of Sight template. All vehicles touched by template are considered a hit, and the Cone of Sight is like a triangular template, so it's like a spread shot kind of. In addition to being ignited, targets receive an extra 10 damage initially and each round as per the fire damage rule. So instead of receiving 10 damage per turn, instead of receiving 20 damage Initially, they receive 30, and instead of receiving 10 damage per turn or per round, they receive 20. So it's a more powerful version of fire, basically. It's supposed to represent thermite, like a thermite-based weapon that burns more hot than, or hotter than other things. Regulus is my best friend's profile name for PS3 or Xbox, and this is based off of his smart car. So this vehicle token is a smart car. Small and light, average speed. Special weapon is Smokescreen, damage 0. Regulus and all vehicles within 3 spaces of Regulus gain the following benefit until the beginning of your next turn. Weapons fire that you are treated as having -2 accuracy. Example, a 4- weapon is treated as a 2-. So basically, it reduces accuracy of weapons by 2 for you and all vehicles within a certain range. So Reptile, this character is based loosely off of Reptile from Mortal Kombat. An average speed, medium weight class vehicle. The special is Blinding Venom, damage 20, ignores armor, range 10 spaces, accuracy 3-. Vehicles hit with Blinding Venom cannot target you this round. It has 2 uses. Average speed, meaning that it can fire twice per turn. So if you want to fire it twice in a round, you can. Another somewhat powerful ability, but weaker than others that we've seen. Vehicle number 20, Quasar. Special attack Black Hole, damage 20. Set the Vortex template on the board in contact with the rear of Quasar. This template is stationary and is removed at the beginning of your next turn. Vehicles excluding Quasar within 4 spaces of the template are removed from the board and placed on the nearest unoccupied spawn point. So basically, it sucks people into it is the idea, and damages them and teleports them to the nearest spawn point. It's kind of based off of Club Kid Special from Twisted Metal 3. A little bit, honestly, is what I based this off of. Type R is a fast, lightweight car. Special is Teleport, damage 10, ignores armor. Use the Cone of Sight template when resolving this attack. Vehicles touched by the Cone of Sight are hit. Remove them from the board and replace them anywhere you choose. So that can be pretty nasty, depending on where you put your enemies after you hit them with that. Shadow, another iconic Twisted Metal character, recreated in the board game sense. His special is Necronomicon, damage 25. Place a ballistics token either in front of or behind in contact with Shadow. This token moves straight 23 spaces and detonates in a 3x5 area upon reaching invisible or contacting him. The boards are 16 by 20, and that's how many squares they are. And so a 3x5 area is 3 squares by 5 squares, so that's actually a pretty large area, to give you an idea. So that's a pretty potent thing to do. 1 use per turn. Silverfish, his special weapon is Bunker Buster, which is based loosely off of Roadkill's from Twisted Metal 3's. It does 50 damage, is lobbed, and has a range of 5 spaces. This weapon ignores the rules for buildings and underground areas. So basically, vehicles and buildings and underground areas will be protected from attacks that are above them. So like say if you launch a mortar or a napalm, and it hits the roof of the building, the vehicle inside will not be damaged. However, with this will just penetrate the roof of the building, crash down next to the vehicle, and detonate, damaging the vehicle. So that can be pretty cool. Thumper, another iconic Twisted Metal character yet again, new design for this board game. Average speed, medium weight class, special weapon is Barbecue. Based off the Twisted Metal 2 special attack of Thumper, not the Twisted Metal 3 or 4 attack. Does 10 initial damage, use the flamethrower template, place in front of and in contact with Thumper. Vehicles are touched are considered hit and already ignited. 2 uses. So that's actually a pretty damaging attack and can be pretty devastating depending on how you deploy it. Vehicle 25, Creeper. The Flesh That Hates is a special weapon. This vehicle and character are based off of Jeepers Creepers. And each character is going to have a complete bio in the rulebook as well as an epilogue. When you have to play a game, you'll look up the epilogue and it will have like a story about what happens to that character when they go to claim their reward for winning a tournament. So it does 20 damage, the Flesh That Hates does 20 damage, Norse armor, this attack affects all opponents within 20 spaces. So this is one that you would want to use when opponents get relatively close to you. Mr. Grimm, another famous Twisted Metal character. Tempest Missile, damage 70, range 12 spaces, accuracy 2-. Roll a 6-sided die. If the result is 5 or 6, the target is ignited. 3 uses. Vector, this is a pretty unique character. He's based off the Necromancer from Diablo 2. Damage 0, summon minion. Damage 0, retrieve the minion token and place it adjacent to Vector. The minion token remains in play until destroyed. Only one may be in play at a time, and has the following profile. Movement fast, HP 45, armor 0, light machine gun. This token is treated as a normal vehicle and moves before Vector each turn. So, this is the equivalent of having a second card that you can control. Ice Queen. Cone of Frost is her special weapon, which does 20 damage using the Cone of Sight template, and enemies touched by the template are hit and have their next movement reduced by half. In addition, they cannot turbo. It says British, but I've changed the terminology of the game since I wrote these cards. Mr. Kill! Damage 20, range 13, accuracy 3-. Killing Spree. When you use this weapon, roll a 6-sided die. On a roll of 6, reroll all missed shots on your next turn. You may reroll missed shots with this weapon, and you can use it twice in a turn, so that's a pretty powerful thing. Black Widow. She's similar to Creeper, except for instead of dealing damage to everyone within 20 spaces of her, she steals life from everyone within 15 spaces of her, healing herself. Meat Wagon, Patience Race. This character is based off of Meat Wagon from Twisted Metal for the PS3. Damage 25, range 14. Place a token in front. So basically, you place a token in front of Meat Wagon and in contact, or behind him and in contact, and then move it straight 10 spaces and 4 to the left or right, and whoever it hits is taking 25 damage. The target's pushed a number of spaces to make the result. The 6-sided die roll. Pretty cool. Emo Kid. Special weapon is Sable Zone. Damage 0 damage. He would suffer this round instead replenishes HP, so that's a pretty cool thing. That would be something you would want to use when you are starting to hurt. Orbital is based off of Orbital from Twisted Metal 4. Special weapon is Sentinels, damage 20, ignores armor, range 15 spaces, accuracy 3. Place 3 ballistic tokens adjacent to Orbital. These tokens move with the vehicle. When an opponent comes within 15 spaces, draw a line of sight from the closest ballistic token, and if target can be seen, discard the token and roll 1 6-sided die as for shooting. So you roll for the accuracy. And, this special weapon is based on Dark Souls. It's like orbiting Soleros or something like that. That's what I base this attack off of. Solaire, based off the Dark Souls character. Special weapon is Solar Beam, damage 30, ignores armor. Use the laser template with placed in front of any contact with Solaire. All vehicles touched by the laser template are considered to be. That splits into 3 directions, so it has the potential of moving 3 vehicles at once. Pretty cool. Augur, Death Twirl. If you know anything about Augur from Twisted Metal 3 and 4, he sticks his big drill into up their ass and throws them. Spectre, based off Spectre from the Twisted Metal series, his special weapon is Ghost Missile, which has the ability to travel through walls, and it does additional damage if it hits somebody at its maximum range, so that's a pretty cool thing too. Grasshopper, based off of Grasshopper from Twisted Metal 2, and I think Head On also had it. She basically rams into somebody, ignoring obstacles. Hambo is based off of Microcar from Twisted Metal 4. His special weapon is a Gatling gun. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Mr. Slam. Bulldozer slams the target with his bucket. Pretty awesome. Axel, another iconic Twisted Metal character. Uses a shockwave through. Vehicle 41 is Sweet Tooth, the most iconic Twisted Metal character. Similar in name alone, again. He is represented by an ice cream truck with a giant ice cream cone on top, rather than the flaming head, and he is black polka dotted, not pink. And he's not driven by a psycho clown like he is in the video games. His special is Cinder Cone. It sits there on the ground, and it's like a turret that shoots at the closest enemies that drive by it. So it's a pretty awesome special attack. Come on, next card. Okay, I guess that's it.